Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Edge Sports Network. Hope everyone's doing well. We got another interview for you guys. Part of our summer series today, we got Marcel Murray, Arkansas State running back. Marcel, thanks so much for joining us here on the site today. It's great to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Our pleasure. Looking forward to this one. I'll start off with the most relevant thing right here. I know you were just named to the Doak Walker Award, or the Doak Walker Preseason Watch List. That award, obviously very prestigious, given to the best running back in the nation. So how does it feel to be named to an award list like that? And how does that kind of give you confidence for this upcoming season?
No, it's an honor
Mm-hmm.
to be selected for this award. I've been working so hard throughout this off season because last season I wasn't 100% throughout the whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
this gives me a little bit of more motivation
Mm-hmm.
to do the things I need to do to win it, and I'm trying my best to win it.
No doubt. And I know your first 2 years with the program, one thing that stands out to me, and I think anyone that's watched you in your time at Arkansas State, is the consistency. I know your first season you had 154 carries, 860 yards, 8 touchdowns, and then you had a couple receiving touchdowns as well that year. And then this past year, your sophomore year, 170 carries for 820 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. I have to ask you, to come into a college program, Division I, and to be that consistent through your first 2 seasons, what's the key to that? I mean, how did you really get acclimated with this team and just college football as a whole?
You know, um, Kind of my high school, the division that we was in,
Mm-hmm.
it was always fast paced and everybody was big. Everybody was doing their own little thing. So when I got to college, it was a little bit faster, but I was always a strong
Mm-hmm.
kid, growing up. So it wasn't really much I could do with that, but the game was faster. So just working, doing PRPs in the summer
Mm-hmm.
really caught me up quickly. And just got on the field the first game and everything was slow, everything was normal,
Mm-hmm.
and I just did my thing.
I know. I mean, you really did. And in high school, you come from Georgia. I've talked with a few guys from Georgia as well. They say that the football culture there is amazing. It's one of the best states for like high school football, college football. So growing up in Georgia, playing high school in Georgia, how'd that kind of prepare you? I know you mentioned that the pace of play is pretty quick there, or it was at your high school, but just how was the competition overall?
The competition was great. I mean, every team was a new challenge,
Hmm.
new skill set. So you always have to adjust on the fly.
Hmm.
And as I said, everybody was bigger, faster, stronger in Georgia. So the difference between that and college football wasn't that much of a difference. But
Hmm.
just got used to being high school and college. I got adjusted like 2 months. So
Hmm.
once I got to play my first game, everything was just normal and
No,
just felt at home.
exactly. I mean, yeah, you look really comfortable in that first year. I know, in high school too, you looked comfortable the entire time. He finished with over 2,000 yards on the ground and 35 touchdowns on the ground as well. When you're in high school, what were your coaches kind of stressing to you for college football? What were they saying to kind of get ready and whatnot?
One thing I struggled in my freshman through junior year was my blocking, and that's
Hmm.
throughout the off season, my junior year, coming into my senior year. That's one thing I worked on. Worked out with like a few offensive linemen just to get my blocking straight. So
Hmm.
that was like the most thing I worked on
Hmm.
throughout high school.
Yeah, I mean, you seemed ready to go for college football. I always like to ask this question too. Why Arkansas State? I mean, what made you settle on the school? And did you always kind of want to go out of state? Were you looking in state too? What had you kind of, continue your career over at Arkansas State?
When I came over on my visit my senior year, one
Hmm.
thing they preached about was family and faith. And I'm really big on that. I mean, when I went on my visit, everybody welcomed me with open arms. I found my brothers early. Just got along with everybody. So it was just almost like a few hours inside the visit. I knew I was going to commit. And I wanted to play for Arkansas State.
I mean, I'd say you made the right decision. So far, so good. First 2 seasons have been great. I always like to ask this too. I mean, have you kind of been a running back your entire life? What led you to that position?
I don't know. I always playing backyard football with my friends I
Hmm.
grew up with. I always had a thing of just for running the ball.
Hmm.
So this actually my first year I used to play a little bit DN,
Hmm.
and halfway throughout the season they switched me into running back, and I just used to score touchdowns every play. That's
Man.
when I found my passion, my love for the position.
Oh, for sure. I know you're not bad at scoring touchdowns. That's for sure. You keep doing that, you're gonna go a long way right there. And I know your freshman year too. Spent a little bit of time, returning kicks. And I know back in high school you had that kind of track and field background. You varsity track and field, throughout high school there. So how did that kind of help with returning kicks? I know it's a translation that we see quite a bit. This like track and field kick returner, duo combo type thing. So how did that track and field background kind of help you with the kick returns and just at the running back position?
As a running back, you gotta have strong legs, and you gotta be able to run
Mm-hmm.
all the time for long distances, short distances. So what track helped me to do was get my legs conditioned to always be running, and not so my legs won't get tired while running. So it got my legs conditioned. I could have done I could do more things
Mm-hmm.
because of track. And I can run faster, run longer, not get tired, just be consistent, and
Mm-hmm.
always put my foot on the gas pedal every play.
Yeah, I mean you're going out there with that aggressive mentality, great averages per carry, and I know for us people who aren't talented running backs, when you go out there and you're trying to read a defense here, what are some of the things that you're kind of looking for on the field so you can kind of hit the hole, get to the position where you want to get to, find the opening, you name it. I mean, what are some of these things that you're looking for in opposing teams, defensive schemes?
Basically, what you're gonna look at is the 3 down, 4 down. Really just reading where they go and how the linebackers fit the holes. So basically, just it's easy. Once you like watch a lot of film, it's really just everything comes slowly, everything's just smooth, and just watch out for things like that.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you did it right away. Your freshman year, you had the most rush yards by a true freshman since 1993 in your program. Did you realize that record throughout the year, or was that something that like you didn't even recognize till the year finished up?
I didn't recognize it until the year finished.
Yeah, man, because that right there, very impressive record to come in a program like that and do that right away. And now that you've spent 2 years in the program, what are some of your favorite memories that you've had with the team? Whether those be just team memories or just personal memories that you've had, individually.
It was just really it's not much to do with football, but just being around the running backs, either we just go bowling, go laser tagging,
Hmm.
spending playing the game in the hotels before games.
Hmm.
Just stuff like that. Just being around my brothers,
Hmm.
just having fun with them. Those are like the best memories.
Sometimes those are, the best ones right there. Just building that team chemistry, those relationships, and you'll have those the rest of your life too, for sure. And I know another great experience that you've been lucky enough to have early on in your career here at Arkansas State is that bowl game, the win against FIU this year. You had 90 total yards in the Camellia Bowl. I'm sure growing up, you always kind of strive to get to college football. That's the first thing there. But once you get to this level, those bowl games are really the games you want to play in. Can you talk a little bit about the atmosphere in that game? Especially, you guys got the win. That's always good to be on that side of it. So how was that experience for you?
It was great. Our team went through a lot of adversity throughout the season. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us got hurt, and I was coming off an ankle injury.
Mm-hmm.
During that the time, the FIU time was like the first time my ankle just felt good enough to cut a little bit, run a little bit. I just felt good,
Mm-hmm.
and the atmosphere was great. It was kind of raining, so me and Jamal, we both had the team on our backs, basically just running the ball downhill and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost like all our hard work was it played out because we won the game and
Mm-hmm.
everybody was happy. Just being around my brothers, just to share that memory with them and share that victory with them was an awesome moment.
Must have been fantastic, especially you're doing it on the biggest stage too. So to
Yes, sir.
have your hard work pay off on that stage where everyone can see it, I'm sure you remember that for your whole life too. And I know we're gonna have to jump back, very far back here, but do you kind of remember your first memories of football, like the like go back to the very first time you picked up a ball, if you remember that. But do you kind of remember what those first memories were and what, introduced you to the game?
I know. Growing up in Georgia, I was a big Atlanta Falcons fan.
Hmm.
Watching Michael Vick
Hmm.
run the ball just so effortlessly, and his elusiveness was awesome. So I kind of just watching him and my dad used to go out in the front yard, just throw the ball, catch the ball, and just he kind of introduced me to football. Just throwing the ball with him, and just
Hmm.
spending that one-on-one time with him. So that's like one of my first memories.
That's great. And Michael Vick, if you want to run the ball well, Michael Vick's a good guy to watch growing up, I would say. So, yeah, I mean, you had it made right there. You had about the best role model growing up at the time. So, certainly great talent right there. And Atlanta Falcons, Michael Vick. I don't know if we'll ever see anything like that again. So, you definitely got that prime era of Vick right there. So, I always like to kind of wrap up the interview with a fun question and then a question that you might not have thought about, but you may have thought about it too. We'll get to that one. But first question for you here. What's kind of a fun fact about you, something people might not know?
I like to draw. I like to draw a
Mm-hmm.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just every time on my free time, I draw or I write poems.
Oh, there you go. There you
So
go.
I like to express my feelings through poems and everything like that. Got a whole journal full of poems and stuff like that. So that's one kind of a fun fact.
That's great. Kind of, I feel like that is it a good way to kind of unwind too. I mean, I'd imagine during the season you're busy pretty much every day, every week, so you kind of use that to unwind and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean that's great because I mean I'm sure it gets hectic, so it's probably nice just to have some downtime, some quiet time, just to relax and do that to fill that time right there. So definitely a really good way to unwind. And then this last question I have for you here, the $1 million question we call it. Again, a little bit of a tough one, but we'll see if you thought about it before. And I know it's a big question too, but what's kind of the legacy that you want to leave at Arkansas State, and where do you see yourself kind of 5 years down the line here? Like in 2025, what would be the perfect, ideal situation for Marcel Murray?
I want to be known as a great leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I've been working on this season. This off season was learning how to lead and learning how to influence
Mm-hmm.
others, especially the young guys. Got freshmen coming in, got a freshman Lincoln. He's looking up to me, just asking questions every day and just making sure he learns. And 5 years from now, I just want to be known as an all-time great at
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas State. Just want to be one of the greats that came through.
For sure. I mean, you're on the right path right now. Great first 2 seasons with the program. Best of luck in your junior year here. Congrats on a great first 2 years, and we're wishing you nothing but the best. But Marcel, I mean, can't thank you enough for joining us here on the site today. Great to have you on, and we'd always be glad to have you back.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. We'll put your Twitter down below so everyone can go follow your career at Arkansas State and beyond. And we'll also put a link to Arkansas State's football website so everyone can go follow for news and updates on the team this upcoming season. But Marcel Murray, everyone, joins us here on Edge Sports Network for our summer series. And thank you guys for joining us here on Edge Sports Network for the summer series. And as always, we'll see you guys next time.